Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Sun is Also a Star. The Sun is Also a Star follows the story of Natasha, a senior in high school who is saved by a young man in New York City the day before she is supposed to be deported from the United States. Believing their relationship is destiny, he makes a wager that he can make her fall in love with him in the matter of a day. So I'm not a romance person, and I'm just going to be fully transparent here. Recently, my mental health has been a little bit on the low side. It's been a struggle bus trying to churn things out and stay in a productive mindset at all. More information than maybe you needed to know. But you couple that with a genre that is already a really tough sell for me, and I was going into this rather pessimistic. However, we have a pairing on screen that was highly intriguing, an African American woman with an Asian man, both coming from highly different cultures, two minorities in the lead of a romance film, and honestly, a pairing in a major motion picture film that I don't know we've seen. So, color me intrigued. But yeah, this wasn't for me. I appreciate everything I just mentioned, but this definitely wasn't for me. So, let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. The musical choices, the soundtrack is fire for this movie. I thought all of the music here was so good, and again, just really added energy to the movie. It felt authentic. It felt real to these characters. And I do think both of our characters, they're both very good looking young people and they have a very nice chemistry together. They do a nice job. And I like that their South Korean and Jamaican cultures played a factor into their personal stories. They were a part of who they were as people and how they presented in the film. And I enjoyed that we got some background with them. We got some experience with those cultures and what it's been like for them growing up. I really enjoyed those aspects a lot. And it's interesting to see a story about deportation, especially in this day and age. Somebody who came over here has just been grinding, obviously not a criminal or the like, and they're getting deported, whether their kids have lived here their whole life, whatnot. And it just was really interesting to go into kind of the psychology of the younger people in the situation who didn't really have a say on any part of this traveling journey. So there was a lot that I appreciated about the film, but there was a lot that I did not like about this movie. Most all of it has to do with this romance. First of all, I mean, we're dealing with a one-day romance amongst teenagers. And the dialogue, oh my gosh, this like hardcore, super idealistic, like really existential stuff that you would never hear in legitimate conversation or talking. But of course, when we have these like super existential teenagers, they say it when they talk to one another. And it's just like, oh my gosh, really? And all of this destiny stuff was just too much. Like, I am the girl in this movie for like the first half times 100. There is no way in hell you'd get me to say I love you within one day. I don't care if we spent the whole 24 hours together. Honestly, that might push me way further, depending. That was an interesting experiment because it did not lure me over. It did not win me over, woo me over in the amount of runtime we had. I stayed that girl in the beginning times 100 without budging. Honestly, I actually thought we were headed toward a satisfactory conclusion that was real, that felt authentic, but I knew better. I knew it, and sure enough, we make sure to twist that around because nobody wants the real ending. Nobody wants the actual lesson that could take place here, and it would have been a really sophisticated message that could have taken place, and then we went back to Hollywood. And this is a romance film, so the fact that the romance just felt super forced. We were having this destiny, love at first sight, whatever this was, shoved in our faces, fate bringing people together, like so omnipresent with this like unrelenting push toward that way of thinking. really turned me off, and this movie just wasn't for me. And I have to say, especially that second act, it drags. This movie drags a lot to me. I do think teenagers might like this. They might find connection with these characters and this idea of falling in love, this romanticism, blah, blah, blah. But I think they're going to be hard pressed to not get bored, especially in that second act. It really, really drags on. I was just like, oh my, is this like a 3-hour movie? No. Oh, okay. Well, how much longer? So overall, there's a lot to appreciate with The Sun is Also a Star. However, it just is so far removed from any sort of realistic depictions, realistic dialogue, realistic character motivations and character actions. And really, honestly, it's just really far removed from anything that I personally am about. So I really struggled with this one. I struggled to connect any which way, and I appreciated it a lot more for the representation and the potential and what this could have been than what was actually delivered. So my recommendation, if you like goopy teenage romances, you could probably give this a full price ticket and you will really enjoy yourself. If that doesn't sound like a fun time to you, but you want to support diversity in film, a rental. And if you're a curmudgeon like me, a good old cynical curmudgeon, you could just skip this one. So that was my review of The Sun is Also a Star. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below. Subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Sun is Also a Star? And have you read the book? If you have, what did you think of that? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!